being met and understand from those consumers their hierarchy of energy needs. Was it lighting? Was it cooking? What would people find most useful? What fuels were they using? How much did that fuel cost? They worked directly with these consumers to co-create energy solutions. Whatever the energy solution might turn out to be, they knew that it had to be local, reliable and sustainable. Otherwise, it would stand little chance of being profitable. If profitability did not drive the business model, then the whole exercise would collapse. Neither their stakeholders nor the disadvantaged people they were trying to reach benefiting from the exercise. The ECM team in India also recognised that within local communities there were potential local partners who could bring invaluable local experience and knowledge to the project. One such partner in India is the Indian Institute of Science, and another an NGO called SSP. Working closely with each of them, ECM has created what it hopes will be a long-lasting and mutually beneficial partnership. Their input, combined with the exhaustive consumer market research undertaken, led to the idea of the biomass stove and pellet fuel combination. From the Indian Institute of Science came the technology that would enable a fan-assisted stove to burn fuel from the top downwards, while the SSP recognised that a quick, efficient cooker would not only release many women from time-consuming drudgery in their day-to-day lives, but could also involve some of them in the supply chain, encouraging them as entrepreneurs and enabling them to supplement their income as village-level entrepreneurs, that ECM called Jyotis. From an idea on a piece of paper in 2004, by the beginning of 2008, a lot had been achieved. Some 100,000 households in over 2,000. Here, as in India, many people in the South African emerging consumer market depend on smoky, smelly paraffin, often dispensed in very unsafe containers, to provide fuel for their cooking. Again, extensive consumer market research, coupled with input from local partners, helped define the need. A low-sulfur, child-safe paraffin container made widely available. Out of that idea developed a further idea, a stove appliance used alongside this fuel to produce a heat source far more efficient than the smoky, smelly flames produced by cookers currently being used in South Africa. On the technology front, the team approached local partner Ready-Made, an award-winning product design company, and a prototype stove is currently in development and will be marketed in 2008. It too could change the lives of many, many people in Africa. With the project in India well underway and South Africa entering commercial pilot stage, ECM has also researched in depth and is developing business solutions in other geographies in Asia. The vision is ambitious. By 2020, it aims to provide cleaner, safer and affordable energy solutions to over 20 million households in the world's emerging consumer markets. And to do all that with businesses that are sustainable and profitable.
What I find very fascinating is what we started in India. Now actually it's not 100,000. They're selling 1,000 every day, so it's up to 250,000. This year they will reach 750,000 installed base, and probably next year 2 million, just in India. And what I find interesting is I wanted to see what the quality of stove is. That was the first stove. And in fact, I remember going to the village with those drawings. And village women are extraordinarily smart. Don't underestimate them. They may not look like us. They may not be highly educated with degrees. I told one of them, why don't we put a fan and you can crank it? She laughed at me and said, why would you want me to sit here and crank? Why don't you put a battery? I came back to the research group and I said, we have to put a battery. What is the immediate reaction? No, we can't find technologies that will not increase the cost. We did find, we went looking around the world, we found toy motors with a little battery, works on a battery, and she can regulate the biomass flame exactly like you and I can regulate the LPG flame. It is possible to do, absolutely smoke-free. I wanted to see what has happened. Stabilized version, current version. And what is interesting also is we collaborated with a large number of people. This is just half a minute.
BP Energy in India has partnered with an NGO.
As an organization, we became much more aware of the opportunity to partner with a large company to create a product which would be extremely useful to women and reduce the drudgery that women face.
BP's way of approach was totally different. They were not looking for profits the next day, and they were also ready to invest to make sure that the product is actually developed to the satisfaction of the customer.
BP came to us, asked us to design a new kind of kerosene stove. Kerosene is used in lots of different ways. For example, it's the basis of fuel for airplanes and even rockets. So we decided to look into other sciences and other areas that use kerosene. And we figured some of that knowledge could come in handy in the way that we developed the product.
So all that I want to say is that the technology that's used is extremely sophisticated. We have a sleeve, which is stainless steel, and some of you are engineers, so you know what it is. Stainless steel coated with ceramic, so that it is very stable and it does not pit. And for those of you who are engineers, you know that's a very difficult combination, and to do it at a price level that people can afford. And I want to show you what the consumer reaction
It
is.
took a long time. It would take me an hour and a half to 2 hours if I had to dry the wood as well. But this cooker is so easy to light, and I can cook quickly. I had to cook not just wood, but other things like dried cow dung. And I had to blow a lot to get the fire to start. And I had to do all this before 7 in the morning, before going to the fields. I had to place an order for gas and wait for 7 or 8 days. I lighted first thing in the morning, and by 9 o'clock I had finished all my cooking for the day. On the old chulha, it would have been 12 o'clock. I like this because it doesn't smoke, and my pots don't get blackened. And because smoke is so bad for the babies, so I'm trying to cook more on the stove. The biggest thing is that I save time, and that makes me happy.
What I wanted to say is that we started piloting in India, scaling in India in 2007 to 2010, experiments in South Africa and piloting, it's getting commercial this year, opening up 8 new geographies in 3 years, including China, Vietnam, and Indonesia. And it's a new category for BP, all created in India. And I like to ask the question, how many of us believe that if you understand what to do with the poor, you not only can create a business, you can create a global business and extremely competitive. And that's exactly what I want to share with you, because I was deeply involved in this project from the original conception, to go into these villages, forcing the design engineers, participating in design meetings, negotiating with NGOs, all that. And the reason why I find it so fascinating is this is real today. 250,000 installed base, commercially sold. The reason why we can't scale faster is we underestimated how well this product will be received. It's a manufacturing problem, and it's going to get solved. This is what it's going to look. The next version is going to be sold in India and Vietnam. That's what it looks like. And the same, essentially the same core product with a different way of cooking in a wok in China. All designed in India. And I don't know how many of you think what you'll pay for it is scrub aluminum, stainless steel, ceramic coated, no smoke, 675 rupees. So case study number 2, which all of us know, but it's my favorite, so I'm going to go through it. Take Jaipur Fort. Barefoot walking, squat on the floor, sitting cross-legged, walking on uneven ground. lot more complex than anything you find in the West.